Masechet Berachot, Perek Gimel, Mishnah Dalid 4. Baal Keri meharher belibo ve'eno mevarech. Someone who became tameh from a bodily emission, the rule is, or was, there was a takana from Ezra Sofer, that unless a person goes to a mikveh for the morning, in the morning, he will not be able to pray yet. And really the takana was for learning Torah. A person will not be able to learn Torah. And some say if prayer is even included in that, which is part of what's going on here. Now the reason Ezra Sofer did this is he didn't want to make it so easy for husbands and wives to be with each other very frequently. So this way people will think twice and realize if they are together, they're going to have to go to the mikveh before shacharit, and maybe it would deter people from being with their wives too much. This decree is no longer in effect in our time. But in this time of the Mishnah, the rabbis were talking about the rules of it. Now, Baal Keri, he can meharher belibo. If he didn't go to the mikveh and he was with his wife, he has to say Shema only by thinking it. Meharher, he can only think it because you're not allowed to say words of Torah. And Shema is already from the Torah. Ve'eno mevarech. And he can't say the Berachot. Now the Berachot of Shema, Yotzer Or and that, it's not really from the Torah, so it's not considered learning Torah. However, since it's still considered things of holiness, so the rabbi who's saying this statement held that even that he cannot do. And he should not think it either. He just shouldn't do it. If he could think everything, then people won't care that they're Baal Keri. They figure I'll just think everything anyway. So there has to be a loss for them to say I don't want to do that, or I'll have to go to the mikveh. So you'll lose the things that are rabbinic, but you'll have to do the things that are biblical, but in thought only. Lo lefaneh v'lo lachareha. If you remember, we said the berachot, there's some before and after. So all that he does not bless, mevarech. Ve'al hamazon mevarech lacharav. And mazon, and meaning food, and birkat hamazon, he'll only say what's biblical again, which is after. But this mevarech means again meharher, because it's going on what's said at the top. Ve'eno mevarech lefanav. But you don't say a first beracha, like Borei Pri Ha'etz or whatever it is, because again, it's rabbinic. Rabbi Yehuda Omer, now Rabbi Yehuda is of a different opinion. He says, Mevarech lifnehem ulacharehem. He says, even though there's a decree of Ezra, certainly today we also say you can say everything, because that's because there's no takana. But even when there was a takana, Rabbi Yehuda was of the opinion that it only applies to Talmud Torah, not to tefillah. And even if Torah is in the tefillah, like Shema, it doesn't matter. Tefillah is allowed. So you can say, not only think, you can say it right out, lifnehem ulacharehem. And that is the discussion here. So we can say that this is still about subject, the who can say Shema and who cannot. And this would be categorized as purity status. Meaning, can someone say it who's tameh or not? His purity status. Also, you have in here manner. Does it have to be verbal or can it be thought? And then, of course, all the questions, can we do it even if we're not tameh? Can we think it if thinking works? Of course, you have to get into the halacha, which says we don't do it that way. It's only good as a backup, and it still works. You still fulfill your obligation. But this needs a slot in a chart. So it would also go into manner, just like we had audibility and things like that. This could be verbility. Does it have to be verbal, or can it be in thought?